Yo, let's draw a ground type Pikachu. This is the 10th video in my Pikachu type swap series, and there's 17 overall, so we're just over halfway. Now, I wanted to play off of the whole Pikachu being an electric mouse thing, so I wanted to make this ground type very reminiscent of a rodent, which I think is appropriate for a ground type Pokemon. So the teeth were definitely something I knew I was going to add in here, and the ears as well, sort of large open ears, similar to the evolutions in Away. And obviously the whiskers as well. I felt like that really adds to the rodent look. So the whiskers coming out of the cheeks. Again, I've mentioned in previous videos that I think the cheeks are probably the most important aspect of Pikachu in terms of how we're going to change it up to match the new typing. I also added claws because I figured this Pikachu would be digging underground quite a lot, so I felt like the claws were a necessary touch. The pattern along its body and head, I wanted it to sort of resemble the earthquake line graphs that show how intense an earthquake is, but it didn't end up looking too right, so instead I sort of made it look like these fragmented, almost like jagged roads, you know, sort of a jagged ground surface. So I made it random and non-symmetrical, that way it felt more natural and earthy. I also had the idea of it sort of dripping sand. I think that's something that I might want to incorporate into its Pokédex entry somehow. So it's got like these little openings on his hands where sand sort of comes out, and you can use that to attack with sand moves as well. Now, as for the tail, that was something that I knew I wanted to make big and fluffy, but in the end, and I didn't record the process because I changed it after I had recorded everything. I changed it up a little bit. I think it resembles more of a squirrel tail, some sort of, I don't know, I felt like this one was a bit too similar to the fairy type Pikachu's tail that I did. So you can have a look at that and you'll see the resemblance. Color scheme, I definitely knew it was going to be brown, obviously, and I knew I wanted two tones. I like that beige sort of brown as the main part of the body, and then on the outer parts, this more earthy, darker dirt brown. As for the whiskers and the inner ears, I contemplated a darker color, but it felt a little bit off, especially on the whiskers. So this lighter cream, this is actually a really pale yellow that looks like a cream color. I think this one worked just right. It complements the browns quite well, so we've got quite earthy tones in general. Something else that I wanted to incorporate into this design was the fur. That you can really see that fur on the ears and along the body. I wanted to make it look like it was a bit fluffy and, you know, something very reminiscent of a rodent, which is what I was trying to go for. I added some tufts of fur at the ends of its tail and the tips of its ears as a way for it to detect slight tremors and movement that happen underground. And I guess the whiskers could also do that. Overall, quite happy with how the design ended up looking. Next one will be either rock or ice type. Please look forward to it. Please comment and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye guys.